Hey guys, I'm ESC1 again, and I just want to make a kind of short video about how I've been able to beat Genesect Virizion with Darkrai. Well, not how I've been able to beat it, just how I think the best way to beat it is. I've been playing against myself a lot. I tend to do that a lot because it's really hard to battle people when you have to be home, and the only real way that I can think to do it is like to Skype them and then hope that they're not cheating. But anyway, the way that I've seen that works the best, there's a couple ways to do it, but anyway, the ways that I think help the most when going against Genesect Virizion with Darkrai are to try and knock out their Virizions as fast as you can and not really worry about their Genesects as much. Because if you can get all of their Virizions out of play, then you can start using lasers, which will help a lot because then you can start one-shotting things if you snipe the bench first. Because the 170 HP on all of their Pokemon is so nice, and you really just have to knock out 3 Pokemon. Because they can't really play the Drift Blooms, because you'll just one-shot those. Plus they're weak to Dark type, so you can even one-shot them with like a sableye with a Dark Claw and a laser. But anyway, so if you can just knock out the Virizions really quickly, that's great. Also, if you can get a Frozen City on to play on like the first or second turn, so that when they're attaching to the Virizion, they take 2 damage, that can kind of compensate for a Dark Claw if you don't have it, or a laser or something like that. Also, I've noticed if you can run them, like if you can stunt their attachments by catching up a Virizion or a Genesect or something with no energy, and then getting their Skyward Bridge out of play and putting a Frozen City or a Verbank in play, that helps a little bit too, because they don't generally run Switch, they just run the 2 or 3 Skyward Bridge and 1 Tropical Beach I've seen sometimes, which I think is a really good tech actually, because I've been in the build that I have a proxied one because I don't have enough for a real one. But anyway, it helps a lot because you can Skylar for it on the first turn when you're not usually attacking. And so, the last thing, what was the last thing? Oh, the last thing is just be really aggressive if you can. Well, actually, there's one more thing. Be really aggressive if you can. I've noticed that if I shuffle well, I just riffle a lot and then do 12 piles and pile shuffle like that, and then I want to say like 60% of the time I get a turn 2 Night Spear, and if you can get a turn 2 Night Spear both games against the Genesect Virizion, assuming you're going 2 out of 3 games, then I think you're going to win most of the time if you're playing smart. And always, just a tip for general Darkrai is always think 2 turns ahead. Note, like, always go, okay, what are they going to do after I attack? Or should I Junk Hunt this turn, or should I Night Spear? Should I attach this Dark Claw now? Oh wait, they might have a Tool Scrapper next turn. Maybe I shouldn't. Is the math going to help out that much? Is my Darkrai going to get knocked out? The Dark Claw attachment is... Sorry, I'm talking really quickly. I'm kind of getting excited. And anyway, the Dark Claw is... only attach the Dark Claw when you're going to use it that turn. Or if you have to Juniper, I mean, of course attach it, because... you know, there's no use just putting it in a discard. Unless you're going to attach it to sableye, in which case then just discard it anyway, because you can Junk Hunt it back. But anyway, be really careful with the way you attach your Dark Claws, because that extra 20 damage is, I mean, it's important. And Genesect Virizion runs 2 Tool Scrapper usually. I think most decks generally run 2 Tool Scrapper now, especially Genesect Virizion, because it has so much space. I mean, the deck has so much space. I mean, just make a list. The only things you really need are like 14, I'd say 15 supporters actually, because you want to run 1 or 2 or even 3 Shadow Triad so you can get the G Booster back, because G Booster is amazing. I mean, it is really freaking good. Because you can just do it turn after, you can do it 3 turns in a row, and that's just a game. Like, you just win. You just power up a Genesect, and then if you can use G-Booster, on the next turn you can Colress Machine to it, and then attack your grass, and then use G-Booster again, and on the next turn you just do the same thing again, and you just win now. And then if you have any problems, like if you need to catcher an EX because of something, you can just use a catcher, or you can use Genesect's ability. Also run 4 catchers in the deck, because you don't want to use Genesect's ability very much, although it does help in tight situations. But anyway, I don't want to talk about how to build Genesect Virizion, I just want to talk about Darkrai. Anyway, so be really aggressive, be smart with the Dark Claw attachment. What was the other thing? Definitely run 1 Tool Scrapper at least. I ran 2 for a while. I think 1's enough. I'm not sure though, because usually they can just get it back with Shadow Triad anyway. But it's still important to get it down. Maybe 3 gyms helps a lot. Like I was saying, the Frozen City is really good. So if you can run 3 gyms in a Darkrai deck, that's good. I was thinking about running 4, honestly, because it just seems like the stadium wars are happening a lot right now. Like a lot of people are running 3 stadiums. Like Genesect Virizion runs 3, Darkrai generally runs 3 with the new list that Israel Sosa had, and Blastoise runs 3 beaches if it can. Some Plasma runs 3 Frozen Cities. So a lot of people are running 3, and then Dowsing Machine's really popular too, so you can get those back. So I mean, I'm honestly thinking about going up to 4 in Darkrai because it has some pretty good space too. Enhanced Tamer helps. It's not that important though, but it helps the matchup sometimes. What else? Oh, just a thing about Darkrai, I really like Computer Search in the deck rather than Dowsing Machine. I think Dowsing Machine is good in Darkrai Gardevoir, but if you're just running Darkrai, Computer Search helps a lot with those turn 2 Night Spears, because honestly, on the first turn, you have to hit a Dark Patch if you want to get a turn 2 Night Spear, or on the next turn, you have to hit 2 Dark Patches. But you generally don't hit 2 Dark Patches on the next turn. And the Computer Search can help you get those Dark Patches more often, so I really like it a lot. Also, it works as an Ultra Ball. It's like an Ultra Ball and a Dark Patch, because you Ultra Ball, or you discard the energy so that you can Dark Patch it back, and then you grab the Dark Patch out of your deck with a Computer Search. And then also, just to make it more consistent with a turn 2 Night Spears, I run 4 Ultra Ball. I have a Max Potion in my deck right now. I'm thinking about taking it out. It doesn't seem to help against Genesect Virizion very much. Because generally I just can't Max Potion because I just need all those energy attached. Like, Darkrai is just such a high energy Pokemon that you really need it. Also, usually it would help if I didn't run Mr. Mime, because they can use Virizion to do 50 damage to my sableye and then snipe it on the bench for 20. That adds up to 70 and it takes a knockout. But that doesn't really help anyway, because they usually just try to knock out 3 EXs rather than taking out 2 non-EXs and 2 EXs. And then also I run Mr. Mime, so I can block that 20 to the bench anyway. So Max Potion ain't really helping me very much. It didn't help me against Plasma either. I don't think it's that good in the deck. That's just my personal opinion. I run 4 Catcher because I think Catcher is very important. 4 Dark Patch is obvious. If you don't run that in the Darkrai deck, you're doing something wrong, man. And then the most important thing I can say to do against Genesect Virizion is don't put your Keldeo down. That might seem obvious, but it wasn't obvious to me when I first started, because I was thinking they're probably just going to have to attack my Darkrai, because I'm just going to overwhelm them with power, and so they're going to have to knock out my attacking Pokemon rather than going for my Keldeo to take an easy knockout. But the thing is, when it gets to the end of the game and you guys both have 2 prizes, they can just catch up that Keldeo and then they win. And then you go home and cry, like me. I'm just kidding. But anyway, those are my ideas. I guess that wasn't all about what to do against Genesect Virizion, sort of just tips for Darkrai in general. But nonetheless, that's what you should do. I guess I probably shouldn't have said nonetheless. Anyway, I guess that's it. So thanks for watching.